All right, so Happy New Year to all my In the Roots fans. Thank you so much for everything over the past year. I really do appreciate it. We are now on season 2, so Happy New Year. Welcome back. Much more in store coming for you guys in season 2, but who am I to start a new season without having a special guest? So here with me today is one of my good buddies from ESPN, Dezmond. Ewell?
You'll get my name right.
How you say it?
Yeah, you'll get my name right. Ewell.
Ewell.
Yep. I say that to everybody.
So Dezmond Ewell is joining me today for today's episode. He is currently a content associate at ESPN. He's a 6-year Air Force veteran, so the man's been around, and he's also from Texas. So we definitely gonna have some Texas sports questions for him. See if he's been keeping up in the news and whatnot. But did I miss anything? I got everything right, but your name.
No, I think you got it. I think you got it, man. Like you say, from Texas, but it's Carolina all day for me, man. Grew up in Charlotte first, so you know what it is. Panthers, Hornets, But I know my Texas sports. We can chop it up on that too. It's all up.
Of course.
Let's get into it.
Of course, we're gonna get to the really important part of this episode, and why I have you here today is Power Media. It's a company that you and some of your other friends are starting up, and you guys want to continue to expand and get more people into it. So why don't you just explain to the people what Power Media is all about?
Right. So Power Media is basically a platform that we're using to kind of bring all these different content producers and content creators underneath one umbrella. Obviously, we got you on board already, and it's just me and my girl Courtney Goodson, and I'm gonna go ahead and give her the credit. It's her company. It's her. She brought me on. She actually used to work at ESPN. I got her up there. We went to college together. I got the job here. Kind of through all the branch recruiter who got her there. She came up and joined like everybody else, but she was like, got bigger goals I want to do. So she went home to kind of put this together, and she brought me on board. And you said black owned. It's a black woman in charge, and I guess I'm her second hand. I don't know, but we definitely got some big goals, man. So again, if you create content, you're looking for a place to let that go and release it, come talk to us, man. We got things to say. So you can reach us at Power Media PM, at Power Media PM. That's Instagram, Twitter. We everywhere. You can hit me up at Dezmond.Ewell, DEZMOND.EWELL at gmail.com or PowerMediaPM.com. And, my socials at Dez Ewell Media, DEZEWELL Media. And that's Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Get at me. We can chop it up for real.
Of course. And I'll be sure to leave all the links and emails and contact information in the bio. So no need to worry about that. I'll get all that information from Dezmond. So if any of you guys that are listening right now or watching and is interested, be sure to hit up my guy Dezmond, and he will lead you in the right direction.
You understand? We want everything. We don't want just sports. Now, we got enough. We got plenty of sports. If you got a good show, come talk to us. But anything, finance, music, whatever, man, real estate. Who don't care? We want it all.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into my next question. Like, how are you guys looking to expand? Like, are you guys thinking beyond just reaching out to people Like, how are you getting the word out there?
Right, man. So we, of course, everything starts kind of word of mouth. So definitely reaching everyone that we know, and then trying to get them to, to tell their people, tell people that we don't know. We definitely post it on Twitter, Facebook. We're working on a little bit of a PR plan right now to kind of push that marketing and advertising even more. But like I said, man, the people that we have on board, actually just finished to finalize the website, which I just found out about recently. So that's done. And Courtney, man, Courtney's a genius. She really is. So she's putting a lot of work to set a good foundation for a lot of people to come through and release that content. Because again, we know, sometimes it's hard to get it out somewhere else. And then, like I said, the big scheme of things is you grow by, if you have a podcast, and then, I have a podcast, and someone else has a blog, or someone else has videos, or whatever it may be, maybe their followers starts to check out your stuff, and your followers start to check out their stuff. Soon enough, everybody's creative content is getting looked at by people that wasn't there before. So the audience grows all together. So that's the move right there.
Yeah, and it's definitely all about networking too. Like, we're all trying to just collaborate together,
right?
Grow as a brand together, because each of us are like our own separate brand, but together We can all be on.
We already had people jumping on other people's shows and everything already. It's already happening. So you know what I mean? Like,
see, publicity right there.
It's already happening, man.
So don't worry. You'll get the link to this. You can share it. Do whatever you want to do. We're just out here trying to help and promote each other because we all want to be great and we're all trying to go somewhere.
Right. You know, it's all love. It's all love for sure, man. We just want to get everybody, you know, who has a voice, a place to release that voice. So.
And then, of course, you already said all your information about where to reach you. Because that was actually my next question. So you're already ahead of the game.
Hey, we already here, though.
You're right. So again, I will put all that information in the description box below. Check him out. Be sure to follow him on all social media platforms. All that will be available to you guys to reach out to him and Courtney as well. But you got to switch it over to sports just this once.
Hey man, you know me. That's my bread and butter right there. What's up?
Of course, us working at ESPN, we sports heads, we know what's going on. But I mean, from Texas, Houston, we got a problem. What's going on with Houston sports? Why do the Stars run out? James Harden got traded last week. Deshaun Watson might have played his last snap in the Texas uniform. What's going on?
Right. I mean, I think it's a situation of just, you know, ownership. You know, I think it's a lot of these things deal with the ownership of both organizations, you know. You're looking at the whole Harden thing. They kind of gave him everything he wanted. Didn't work out. Now he was kind of, in my opinion, playing baby a little bit to try to force his way out. Yeah, but no, Harden, like I said, I think it's on him too. It's not just ownership on that end because, you know, they did it. Okay, you want to help? We got you Chris Paul. That didn't work out. You know, we got you your boy Westbrook. That didn't work out. Like, you know, you want to shoot
when Dwight Howard was still Dwight Howard.
When Dwight was still a problem, we got you that too. You know what I mean? You wanted shooters to be in D'Antoni's offense. We got you shooters. So, you know, at some point, and you know, sometimes you run into a better team, and they just kept running into the Warriors and couldn't get it done. You know, I get it, but then the Warriors basically didn't even exist last year. So now what's your excuse? You know what I mean? So that's on that. Now, when it comes to the Texans, I'm not gonna lie to you. That whole organization's a train wreck. I mean, you start back with, you know, Bill O'Brien becoming the GM and the coach. Well, you're talking, okay, so now you got a problem with, you know, the best receiver in the NFL, so you decide to trade him for nothing?
I think
for nothing?
Egos just got in the way.
Egos got in the way, bro. And now, you know, you finally get rid of the actual problem. Right. Maybe a stick of gum. Like, maybe a stick of gum, bro. I could have got a better trade on Madden for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's like a crime. You can't even get that on Madden. They be like, no.
It won't even accept it on Madden, bro. If you would have put that deal together on Madden, they would have laughed at you. Game probably would have shut down. So you got that, man. Then you look at this whole Deshaun Watson thing. Now, you know, from what the stories are saying, you know, he wanted input on the next coaching hire because he didn't want it to be the same culture that it's been. And if you remember, the former owner, you know, who died or whatever, was like, you know, you don't let the inmates run the prison, you know, and like that. So that alone tells you what the mindset is in that organization. One, and then two, you got your, you know, quarterback, your franchise quarterback, who is a very good quarterback. It's not like it's a, you know, Baker, some years good. No, Deshaun's been consistently good. You know, actually arguably had one of his best years this season, even though they weren't winning everything. Yeah, so, you know, you got a quarterback who's just asking for – yeah, right. You got a quarterback that's asking for input, asking to be a part of it, which is a normal thing, you know, in today's NFL. And you basically kind of say, you know, F you, we're good. Like, what you expect him to do? Sit there and take that?
Yeah, because from what I've been hearing, he asked to have input, and they said, "Okay, like we'll
right, we'll go," and then just wouldn't make the moves.
And what's crazy is that he wanted them to just interview Eric Bieniemy, and they didn't do it until after it came out later that he wants out, and then all of a sudden Eric Bieniemy got an interview, and I'm just like, y'all.
Nah, too little, too late, dog. It's a little too late, dog. Nah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I'm not mad at him at all. I hope he does get out now. For more personal reasons, again, I am a Carolina Panthers fan, except I'm originally from Charlotte. So I would love to see him come back to the Carolinas. Obviously, you know, he was Clemson quarterback. We need a quarterback. We got the offensive weapons. You know, if you watch the Panthers at all, the offense is there. And, you know, we got DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, all 1,000-yard receivers. Then you got Mike Davis at 1,000, you know, in total yards. And, you know, Christian McCaffrey, who's arguably the best running back in the NFL, coming back too. So the weapons are there. We just need a quarterback. So I would love to get him there. But even then, if it's not in Charlotte, I hope he gets out and gets somewhere he wants to be, where he'll be appreciated as a black quarterback and can do his thing. So I'm definitely rooting for him in that sense.
Yeah, and no doubt. And I feel that, the one thing that I think he did that was kind of smart was he got his money. So he signed, he got his money, and he saw that the season wasn't going the way he wanted to go. And you had JJ Watt apologizing to him.
Right. So we wasted one of your years.
And it's like quarterbacks like him don't grow on trees. And quarterbacks nowadays, they're very durable. So he can still play another 15 years and probably still play at a very high level. So it's like you don't want to waste that in a Texas uniform.
Right.
And who was it that is one of the great Texans of all time?
Andre Johnson.
Came out, youngest man in the league, came out and said, "No, don't even let them try to fool you. Get out while you can."
They waste careers. He said it.
Never heard this man
said it. Yeah, you don't know that man's voice sounds like, but he's came out, and I'm glad because, again, like I'm glad D-Hop got traded. So I'm like, he would have been in the same boat because, especially when I was living in Houston at the time, we were looking at D-Hop like, wow, this is literally Andre Johnson reincarnated. Because when Andre was in the league, he was top 5 as well. You know what I mean? I think D-Hop is a better receiver, but that's a different conversation. Right. But still, at the time period, Andre was top 5, D-Hop's top 5. They're both playing with no-name quarterbacks until Deshaun Watson shows up. Right. Dude, like, it's the same thing. So he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's saying. And I'm glad Deshaun, he's not even picking up calls, supposedly. They blow up his phone. He's not even answering. I love it, man. Because, again, I love when I get to see players take control back. Because for years and years and years, owners did whatever they wanted to do. They tell you right now, oh, yeah, you're going to be a Cowboy for life and cut you the next day. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. So no, take control too. Like, people hate on LeBron, but that's what LeBron did better than anybody else. He took control of his career. Whether you like him or not, it is what it is.
But at the end of the day, no matter what team LeBron was on, they were not trading him. LeBron has always had the ability to be a free agent. So it doesn't matter. He can hold the organization by a string and let them think, oh, I'm going to sign next year, and then just bounce. And you know what?
But that's him strategizing. That's him doing the 1-year deals, 2-year deals, 3, instead of doing those $200 million deals that he could have got, but when he saw that the organization in Cleveland wasn't helping him the first time around, okay, well, I'm going to take it.
You spend 7 years there because that's the difference between the NBA and the NBA and the NFL are similar from the standpoint of most people that get drafted, especially in the first round, you stay on your next contract.
Exactly.
6-7 years. And then by then, if you're not winning or doing something productive.
But you're not helping me at all.
You got to get out. Because it's like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to be loyal for the rest of my career, but everybody in this city is going to love me. At the end of the day, these players make too much money to even care if everybody loves them. I know it shouldn't be everything, but you know what? Sports sometimes need a little bit of a villain, need people to kind of be different. And I can't keep doing the narrative goes that, oh, y'all need to be grateful and this and da-da-da-da-da. Like, at the end of the day, it's a business. Because like you said, they'll sit here and say you're going to be this for life and then cut you the next day. Blake Griffin signed an extension with the Clippers, 5 years, over $150 million. What they did, they came into the season, told him he's going to be a Clipper for life. They ended up giving him to Detroit. You haven't heard from Blake Griffin since.
Right. So, and let's keep it on the same level. Look at how Carolina did Cam Newton. So it's same position, black quarterback, both got high. Did he ever get a Heisman? Did Deshaun get a Heisman?
No, Deshaun didn't.
No, he didn't, but he was in the running. You know what I mean? But they both got national championships. They both got, you know what I'm saying? First top school. Yeah, top schools. And it's the same resume. Except Cam got an MVP. Cam got an MVP. That's went to the Super Bowl.
What bothered me with Cam, though, was that they let him go after all the free agents.
Right, yeah. They hosed him. They hosed him so bad.
Opportunity to go and sign with a team and passively, like, get on and learn the system and stuff.
They hosed him really, really bad, man. And it sucks because, again, when that's the organization that I grew up watching that I'm a fan of, that was probably the first time in my whole fandom career that I was just like, that's really some trash. Like, come on, bro. Like, how you do the man who put us on back, like, besides Steve Smith and Julius Peppers, like, that's the person that put us on the map. Sure, nobody was watching the Panthers.
Super Bowl. I mean, to be honest, prior to Cam Newton getting to the Panthers, I wasn't watching Panthers football.
Yeah, wasn't nobody watching Panthers
football. Now that he's not there, I mean, yeah, Christian McCaffrey, I'll watch because I'm like, what is he going to do? But I'm not.
But it's still not the same.
Yeah, I'm not interested because Cam was so dynamic. He won MVP in 2015. And I'm just sitting here saying that he's just different. Like,
Yeah.
could Cam take better care of himself when he's running and do a lot of things to prevent injuries? Of course, but you're never gonna do that to an athlete. Athletes are always gonna give 110% regardless of what's going on.
You hope, because we also had an athlete by the name of Kelvin Benjamin who didn't. So I ain't gonna say everybody, but
Benji.
some. That man, oh man, then you gonna call out Cam talking about you got a better quarterback, bro? Stop.
I mean, and where's Calvin Benjamin now? Wasn't he on the Bills and then they cut him? Like, is he even in the league at this point anymore? I'm just saying. But also, I think splitting up that 2015 team, I think, was one of the worst things that could have happened to the Panthers.
No, we had to. Because, again, your number one receiver was Ted Ginn. Like, you know what I mean? And your number two was Jericho Cotchery. The best receiver on the team was Greg Olsen at tight end. Like, that's not a Super Bowl win. And the defense was just nasty. You know what I mean? And then from there – age. I mean, it was age. You know, we had made a trade for Peanut Tillman. You know, made a trade for him. We made a trade for the Vikings defensive end. I can't think of his name. Longtime Vikings legend defensive end. He played with us for his last year. Julius Peppers was there. I mean, Peppers was like almost 40. Like, all these guys were old, so we almost had to. Like, nothing you could do. But
you had to, but I think you got to know how to substitute those players when they get to that point. And I think that's where drafting comes involved, and you start to develop guys, and then whoever's next in line, boom, you jump right in because you saw the vets before you do it and pave the way for you to be the star now. Because all those guys knew, like, their time was coming to an end.
Right. And that's where we make the GM move now because, it was, you know, we had to get rid of Hurney, and as much as we love him and everything. And he's actually still put together a good foundation because, again, Carolina has weapons again. Carolina has defensive players again. It's just all needs to come together, and that's where the new GM and, you know, Matt Rule will be in his second year with a full off season. So, you know, it's coming together. I actually have hope, really good hope. I think next 2 or 3 years, Carolina definitely be one of the toughest teams in the league again, which, you know, I wasn't sure a couple of years back. I don't know which way we're going to go, but, you know, funny. I just don't want to become the Jets or something like that. So, you know.
I think you guys are up and coming. I mean, you have the coach in place. You really just need a quarterback. What pick do you guys have, by the way?
8. We got 8. And it sucks because we would have had 3, but we decided to win a game in week 15 that was so unnecessary. And I'm not saying we got to go out there and do what the Eagles did. I'm not saying go do that. But, like, bro, like, we couldn't have missed 1 field goal that game. Like, we done lost 5 in a row. We can't just lose 1 more. We would have had the 3rd pick in the draft, man.
So the 3rd pick. This is the thing that I've always wondered about professional sports. Do fans really sit here and root for their teams to just lose games to get a higher draft pick? Because for me, I'm not like that. I know Jets fans got upset when the Jets won that game that made them get 1 win over Jacksonville. And I was just like, but I would rather have that 1 win than be 0-16 because you can't erase that. And you
can't fact.
Because even the Browns team that went 0-16 a few years back, that stench is still with them. Yeah, they had a season this year and they're doing well, but people still be like, oh, same old Browns.
They say it's the same old Browns.
Right. And
I can only speak for myself. When it came to this, going into this year, I was already like, okay, cool. I'm not expecting Carolina to, you know, win the Super Bowl. You know, I knew Tampa and New Orleans was going to be a better team. I said we'll be better than the Falcons, and generally we were. They had the same record at the end. But at the end of the day, it was just like, I want to see my team compete every week. I want to see that young – because our defense is young. I want to see our young defense get better every week, continue to grow, and that's exactly what they did. They actually outshined a lot more than we thought they would, and I want to see the offense kind of come together. Of course, we didn't know McCaffrey was going to go down. But still, I mean, you got 4 players who had 1,000 total yards. Like, that's insane. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Teddy Bridgewater, who did all right, we kind of saw what we have there. So, again, if I personally think had Teddy not been there, let's say we would have had a Deshaun or maybe even brought back Cam, honestly, I think that we would have been at least in that wild card spot or at least fighting for the outsource. So I didn't want to see my team lose, but when McCaffrey went down and, you know, lost were piling up, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just get better. And if we lose, we lose. Bet. So I don't want us to – now, on that back end, like I said, week 15, week 16, we don't need them games. Like, now let's go ahead and get that draft spot. You know, but I don't want to waste all the season on it.
I understand that because I'm a Giants fan. So I was in a similar situation last year when the Giants and the Washington football team had the same record. And Daniel Jones want to go out here beating Washington, and
now he want to be a superstar. Yeah, exactly.
We could have had Chase Young, and instead
yeah,
the third pick, and the fourth pick, and I'm just sitting here saying, yo, we could have had the second pick, and I'm listening to all the New York sports talk radio, and all of them were saying the same thing, except for one person on one show was like, I want my team to win every single game, and I'm like, it's cool. Daniel Jones could have threw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and had 300 yards passing, and I was okay if they had a loss on the last second field goal. But you know what?
And that's been me all year. Yeah, exactly.
About that. He can go into the offseason knowing,
right.
You know what, I played well in that last game. I can progress and grow about that.
Right.
Yeah, the loss.
He still gets his reps. He still gets his, his development, all of that. It just didn't happen. Yeah, so that's how my mindset is with that. That's how my mindset is with that. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you want to see your team compete. I don't want to be the Jets where you're just getting smacked every week. Yeah, but I definitely
I was hoping that they would win a game or two because I was like, you don't want to get 0-16, even if it's Trevor Lawrence, because who's to say Trevor Lawrence was going to pull a Peyton Manning and be like, I'm going to go back to Clemson.
Right.
Like the Jets was a whole dumpster fire this whole year, and I'm from the New York City area, so I know what it's like for folks to be Jets fans and they root for their team like nobody else, and it was just a collateral disaster. All New York sports talk radio was just like, this team is awful. Fire the coach. Get rid of Sam. And I'm like, damn.
Actually, I think Sam is actually a good quarterback. I think Sam's a good quarterback. That's just me, though.
Well, like, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan. But maybe if the Jets got all the picks and they got the
they do.
Get Watson, it's just this. He has a no trade, so does he want to go to the Jets? I'm kind of hoping the Giants just give them a little phone call and say, listen.
Now, y'all good. Y'all got y'all guy.
Nah, we'll give you.
Y'all got y'all guy. We need my man in Charlotte. He like the Carolinas. He'll be close to home in Georgia. You got. I mean, it'll be like when Cam was there. We need it. Hey, we can use another black quarterback. And David Tepper is crazy enough to make it happen. Let me tell you, I didn't believe in him before. David Tepper is crazy enough to make that stuff happen. So don't sleep if he ends up in Charlotte. And that, we can't wear number 1. We all know that's Cam, but he can wear number 2. He can wear number 2. Whatever you want to do. Hell, I got $10 on it.
I'm just saying, I think the Giants just pick up the phone. Daniel Jones, Saquon, the number 11 pick.
You can't move Saquon.
Nah.
You can't move Saquon.
You may have to sweeten the pot because, to be honest, and I love Saquon, and I was all for picking him number 2 in the draft a few years back. But he hasn't stayed healthy, and he's kind of like a big hit running back. Like,
yeah, he is.
He's got to get big yards at like chunks at a time. He's not a pound type of running.
Yeah, he's definitely a home run. He's a home run hitter for sure.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, listen, I love to keep him on the team. I think he's a very special dude, but I'm like, listen, if I can get Deshaun Watson by moving you and we can get a running back in the second or third round. I mean, Wayne Goldman didn't do too bad for us this year either.
Wayne was super, and Wayne is Clemson. Wayne's a Clemson guy too.
I was like, you never know, but I mean, Deshaun's been in New York City for the past week now, so I don't know what that's all about. He out here giving his homeboys cars and whatnot. I'm like, I need to be on that team.
Who knows, man? Who knows, yo? It's gonna be interesting. That's probably gonna be the talk of the free agency and talk of not free agency, but trade information and everything. So I'm keeping my eye on that because
they're talking about maybe the Dolphins might get involved, trade Tua and the third pick, and I'm like, wasn't that?
Yeah, I don't see that happening, bro. I know everyone's talking about that, but I don't Tua has already shown flashes. So you wasted not wasted, but you used the pick on him. It would be a way if you use that to, or I guess maybe it's not a waste because you do if you get Deshaun, but it's still what is it like? He already had them on where he was walking off the field and thanking the coaches just for even giving him the opportunity and all that. And he's a young guy. I don't know, man. Tua got talent.
I think the Dolphins is just missing a big wide receiver. Get Devontae Smith out of
go get your receiver. Go make a move for
him in college. I mean, and they got the connection already. I mean, make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Or use some picks to trade down and get you a receiver that's in the league that's already established, who's proven. So there's different. Like I said, anybody who says they know where Deshaun's going is lying because it's just too many. It's too many angles for this to go. But I'm hoping. I go because I'm telling you, he get to Carolina. I'm buying 3 jerseys, all 3 colors. I don't care. All right, we support black quarterbacks over here.
Of course, I'm all for supporting Deshaun Watson, but I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna come back to the NFL talk. I just have to get your opinion on this Kyrie situation. What do you think is going through Kyrie Irving's head right now? Like, I get it. Like, we all could take a personal day here or there, but how I looked at it was like, dude, just tell your coach or your GM, like, you ain't feeling it. Instead of having Steve Nash at the podium, like, yeah, I haven't spoken to him.
Oh, no.
I'm like, that's kind of a rookie head coach mistake there. You got to lie or something because New York media is rough.
New York is, you can't be in there and
live out here.
No, I remember when Derek Jeter retired. I'm a Yankees fan. My dad's from New York, so I grew up watching, New York sports. I'm a Yankees fan. And when Jeter retired, what's his name came in, Didi came in to replace him. And I said, I feel bad for that man because no matter what he does, the media will never let him be Jeter. The New York media is different. New York media is different. So I'm looking at Kyrie. It's a lot with this, because, y'all make all this hoopla to get together, and then you wait a whole year, because Kyrie's hurt, KD's hurt, but, once they come back, we're going to be together. We're going to do all these great things. They're showing little Zoom calls they was doing together, like, talking. And we all know, bro, when Kyrie has that ball in his hand, that man is absolutely amazing. You can't take nothing from him. But as what's going on in his head, I think if anybody knew what was ever going on in his head, we wouldn't be having to ask this question. No one knows. It's Kyrie. No one has any idea what's going on in this man's head. So when I look at this situation, it's tough, but it's also kind of like, what did y'all expect, Brooklyn? Like, he's already kind of shown that he's not the easiest guy to deal with on the organizational team aspect. I'm not going to talk about him personally because we don't know. But just on the organizational level, we saw how I went with Boston. We saw how I went on the back end with Cleveland, how I went with, Like, it's been proven already that this is not the easiest guy to deal with.
Yeah, and Richard Jefferson came on the jump last week, and he even said one time before that when he was playing with Kyrie in Cleveland, you didn't know which type of Kyrie you was going to get. They went to the locker room, and it was like, do I get, like, fun and happy Kyrie, or do I get Kyrie that's, like, set in his moods? And honestly, you let guys just be themselves, but it's kind of like, dude, if there's things going on, like, we're all brothers here. Like, talk to us.
Say something. Yeah, you just disappeared. Nobody heard from you. I mean, bruh, like,
I don't want to speak too much because I'm like, I don't know, like, what's going on in his head.
Right, yeah, we don't know. That's just, I don't want to speak on his personal, but it's just like, even Dennis Rodman told Coach he needed a week before, when he went to Vegas. He told him, I need a week. Let me get a week, and I come back, and I got you on rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
just look bad.
It's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, if it was Josh Gordon, we would talk about his drug use. You know what I mean? If it was somebody else, we would talk about
suspended again. And I'm just like,
I know.
At this point, I just think the NFL needs to just get him the help. Stop worrying about him playing football. Just get him help as a person. Like, utilize your resources, because I just feel like you don't want him to keep going down that dark hole every time you give him a chance. Right.
And it seems like he makes progress. But again, an addict is always an addict. And I mean in a positive way. And, no matter how well you get, you always got that bug on you. So, but like I said, sticking to Kyrie, man, it's a lot with that. They got Harden. So I would love to see how the three works. I saw a comparison is which big three was going to be better, which would be, James, Kyrie, and KD, or KD with the Steph and Clay. What I know is I look at Steph and Clay and KD, and the chemistry they had was insane. I mean, we've all seen the video of when the ball was getting, spin around and they're swinging the ball around. They're all like pointing at each other like, no, he's open, I'm open, they're open. Like, I don't see that happening in Brooklyn. I really don't, because it's going to be too much of the 1-2, dribbling and holding on to the ball, then sliding last minute. I don't see that chemistry happening, especially with a first-time coach in Steve Nash. I had to take nothing from Nash. Nash is one of my favorite point guards growing up. I love Steve Nash. I think he's wonderful. But, to come in and have to coach this amount of pressure, you know what I mean? Where you got three major stars that there's already chemistry issues with Harden coming out of Houston with his mess. Kyrie got his mess. I mean, KD is your best bet because he's the only one that's quiet. You know what I mean? Like, you got to hope he can kind of Yeah, KD's want to play ball, go home, and tweet. That's all he want to do. Tweet from his burner. That's all. Like,
I was gonna say, if you said it.
That's all he wants to do. So I feel bad for Nash, man. But you took the job, so now you got to figure this out, bro. But I hate it for him for sure, because, dude, this is where you would have wanted a Doc Rivers maybe, or somebody who really knows how to handle those stars, and those big names. You need a Phil Jackson right now, Zen Master type stuff, because this is wild, man.
That's true. But do you think Who's coming out of the East? Who's coming out the West? Who's winning the final? Like, what we thinking? Brooklyn, Lakers?
Bro, it's too early for me right now because there's just so much going on. I mean, the Lakers don't look the same. You know, they still look good. I think as long as LeBron's in the league, he's always going to be the best bet. You know, so I can. And AD is still AD. I think they have a better team. They definitely got better, you know, on paper. But it's just about we got to see how they go in the long run. So early on, yeah, the Lakers are still my team out the West. The East, I wish I could sit here and give you a solidified answer. I'm not even gonna try to lie to you. I don't know. Everyone wants to give it to the Nets, but I'm like, bro, we don't know if Kyrie gonna come back. And when he does, it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like who for all I know, yeah, the Hornets beat him. My team beat him. Like we might be coming out the East. I don't know. You know, like it's truly just too early to see who's coming out the East right now. And I say that with all respect, but you know, it is what it is, kind of when it comes to that.
I think your Hornets are looking good, though. I think LaMelo Ball is looking like the truth. It's only a matter of time before he actually starts. I mean, y'all got a good young core down there.
And but the thing is, I was trying to tell people this.
Graham, I always trade for him in 2K. That brother can play.
Strap.
Can play.
But no, people thought I was crazy.
Last year.
I was talking like, because again, when you're a Hornets fan, you basically might as well be a Jets fan. Like, you know, there's no, you know, basketball NBA season sucks for me because my team is, I'm always watching somebody else's team, you know. So, but I was kind of watching the team last year, and you saw right before they broke, it was really coming together. You know, Bridges, and you got Graham, and Rozier was playing well, and I'm a big fan of Tyler Zeller. Don't get enough credit. He gets, you know, was it Cody's? Tyler Zeller. Which one's in Charlotte? Cody, thank you. I'm going blank. Tyler was a Tar Heel, which is also my team from growing up. But Cody Zeller, really good, quiet, consistent player. I was like, yo, and then PJ comes out as a rookie and starts really fitting into the system. I'm like, yo, we got a young core. This is actually dope. Then I say, okay, cool. Let's go get we get the draft. And LaMelo comes in. I said, okay, cool. I'm just hoping it's good. I'm hoping this works. This dude is leading the rookies in like every stat. And this coming off the bench. This is coming off the bench, and he's hooping like this. Already got triple doubles under his belt. Already, like, bro, he smoked his brother. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay. I ain't gonna lie to you. I may have bought my little LaMelo just might have got here a few days ago. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to cop.
LeVar said his youngest son was the best.
He said it was the best one. I had no idea he'd be in Charlotte, but here we are. Here we are, yo. It's when he's on the court, that chemistry, and then you go and get Gordon Hayward. Hayward, you know, again, he's dropping 40. He's dropping 36. You know, I think it took him a second to get his rhythm right, but now he's really flowing through, and you see the chemistry between LaMelo and Bridges, you know, off the oops off the glass, and, you know, the no-look passes, and there's a lot going on, man, and people forget that, you know, the coach came out of the Spurs system. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if he can see how he's working on this together, working on rotations and everything. So he knows what he's doing too. So I just give it some time, man. Again, we ain't winning no championship this year, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if we slide into that 8 seed for real, which is all you can ask for.
Just get into the play-in. I
just want to see them in the playoffs. Yeah, I just want to see them into the playoffs. So, you know, James Borrega, he really is doing this thing and putting this team together, and Mitch Kupchak, you know, who again, that's who built the old Lakers team that we all know and love, you know, with Kobe and them. So he's kind of finally doing some things there. So yeah, I'm excited. You know, I even got my little league pass going just so I can see the games, man. I ain't did that in years for the Hornets, you know. I got a reason to watch again. So you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for our future for sure.
So I'm gonna wrap this up, but before I do, a couple things. I need to know who you got going to the Super Bowl and who's winning it all.
Oh man, it's Chiefs and Green Bay. It's Chiefs and Green Bay, and it's so hard. If Mahomes is healthy, that's the issue now because we got the concussion last night, or was the night before, whenever they played against the Browns. You got a concussion. So, but assuming he's healthy, you can't bet against him. But that man, A-Rod, Rod has got something to prove, man.
Bad man.
He's going to beat Tampa. He is going to beat Tampa. I don't care what anybody says. You know, they're giving Brady all this credit for the win against the Saints. That was not Brady. The defense played. They were behind. The defense made a great fumble. Momentum shifted, and they just ran the ball all day. They ran the ball all day, which is not to take nothing from the Bucs. But I'm about to give Brady all this credit. If it comes down to Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, I'm putting my money on Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going to be real with you. But I think overall, if the Chiefs, if Mahomes is healthy, the rest of that team is going to feed off of it. So, and the defense has stepped up, which is not something the Chiefs are known for, but the defense has definitely stepped up and looked better. Because, again, when Mahomes went out, that offense went flat, but the defense kept them in the game, kept them from losing that lead. So, I don't know, man. Andy Reid, man, I think he finally broke his curse. He broke his curse, and then he going to get him another one. And I hated they need to hire my boy Eric Bieniemy, man. And you stop doing my man wrong like this. But go ahead and get him another ring. Go get Bieniemy another ring then. Since y'all want to pay me, I'll go get another ring.
Resume. That's all you got to do. Stack
You can't take that from me.
True. But I think that's all I got for you. Thank you so much, Des. I really appreciate it. I'll be sure to drop all your information in the comments below. Just resend it to me. I do have some of it, but
I got you.
Just want to make sure I got all your socials and everything right. But you guys can follow him on his social media accounts. Be sure if you are interested in Power Media, hit him up, hit Courtney up. Let's work, let's expand, and let's be great out here in these streets.
All day,
But thanks, Des.
Hey, shout out Martin Luther King. It is his day, man. Shout out the King, man.
We out here living the dream, man. It can only go up from here.
Only go up.
But I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
You know what it is, fam.
Peace.